This episode of AMN's Year in Review is sponsored by Lightens, your best source for OE quality automotive and heavy-duty accessory drive tensioning devices. We know tensioners because we invented them.
Welcome back to the fourth and final video in our 2022 AMN Year in Review series. I'm Amy Antonora here with Nadine Battah, and today we take a look back at the top 10 newsmakers of 2022. Nadine, are you ready to get things started?
Let's do it, Amy.
All right.
This final video in the annual Year in Review series recaps some of the most popular interviews of the past year, presented in a variety of formats including executive interviews, podcast interviews, and print issue cover stories. We start things off with our first two newsmakers, Lauren Beaulieu, Vice President, Professional Marketing, Advanced CarQuest and WorldPack, and Kevin DeLillo, Senior Vice President, Automotive Business Solutions for Advanced Auto Parts, who gave us a little bit of history about the Advanced Auto Parts TechNet program and the cover story of our August issue. TechNet celebrated 25 years supporting customers this year.
25 years, that's older than you, isn't it, Nadine?
It is, Amy.
In January, we sat down for an executive interview with Daryl Benton, Vice President of Sales and Marketing Automotive Aftermarket for Mann Hummel in North America, to discuss the latest Purolator brand activations and creating a better experience for people inside the vehicle. In the interview, Benton talked about a variety of topics, from the brand's increased focus on video training, a growing trend since the pandemic, to the role filtration can play in clean mobility.
Also featured in this year's list of AMN Newsmakers is Plus & Edelman's CEO Dan Billy, who sat down with AMN for an executive interview following the company's purchase of Blissfield Manufacturing Co. Billy also this year was inducted into the Federated Auto Parts Hall of Fame for dedication to excellence. Quite an accolade.
Shortly after being promoted to Vice President of Automotive Aftermarket for NTN Bearing Company, Charles Harris joined Bill Babcock in the AMN Drive Time studio for a lively discussion. With more than 30 years in the industry, Harris had some great stories to share during the podcast interview. Side note, you can also check out mementos from Harris's history in football in the background during the interview.
In April, AMN featured Selwyn Jaffe, Chairman and CEO of Motorcar Parts of America, in its popular executive interview series. During the interview, Jaffe shared insights into MPA's holistic company culture, as well as the keys to the company's success and explosive growth over the past 5 years.
Another guest on the AMN Drive Time podcast with Bill Babcock this year was Brian Norco, Senior Vice President, Commercial Business Operations for NGK Sparkplugs USA.
In August, the AMN Executive Interview Series featured newsmaker Mike Palm, VP of Marketing and Sales for CRP Industries, who chatted with AMN about everything from supply chain challenges and vehicle complexity to the growing popularity of remanufacturing.
The AMN Executive Interview Series featured yet another newsmaker this year, Tom Tecklenburg, VP of Aftermarket North America for Dayco. In June, Tecklenburg visited Babcock's headquarters to chat about Dayco's latest products, motorsports initiatives, and other exciting plans in the works.
Amy, ready to round out our look at the top newsmakers of 2022?
I am. Can't wait.
Let's do it.
All right.
We finish up with Steve Tucker, who was named President of Automotive Parts Associates in February 2021. Tucker was featured in an AMN Drive Time podcast this year where he shared that after a career on the supplier side of the aftermarket, leading a program group has given him new perspective on the industry.
Well, that does it. We've reached the end of our AMN Year in Review series for 2022. Quite a list of interesting people and stories this year.
Definitely, Amy. Thank you all for sticking with us.
We'll see you again next year.
See ya.
Bye.